lot of people... Here we go. A lot of people like to talk crap about Cowboy Bebop, the Netflix show, like a lot. Like it's like the cool thing to do. Hey, look at me, I fit in. If you want to fit in, just go ahead, dislike it. Don't even watch it. By the way, I just want to point out, I hope this doesn't come across as too sassy, but I think it's incredible that there are people out there willing to give a review on YouTube on a show which they didn't finish watching. Yeah, that's just something personally I wouldn't do, but each to their own, I guess. Especially considering that there's some decent parts in the last few episodes. You know, maybe, just maybe their mind could have been changed. And, you know, like I get it. Like the original series has gone down in history as the best anime series ever, which is a pretty big accolade. Like try to keep that in mind. Try to think of the best films ever. Not even plural, you know, just the best singular entity in that medium. The best book ever, the best painting, etc., etc. So you have to ask, if someone is essentially remaking the Mona Lisa of pop culture, you know, how? And the answer is you don't. Like, think about it. True classics, the Star Wars, the original trilogy, the Godfather trilogy, Indiana Jones, like I doubt those films will ever be completely remade. I say completely because of the re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy. But anyway, going back to the point, the idea of remaking one of the best of a medium is almost sacrilege, and I think that's where a lot of this hate comes from. You know, a lot of people, their argument is, why even bother? People were out before they even gave it a chance, especially with the negative attitude towards live action anime adaptations in general, e.g. Dragon Ball, which is completely justified for the most part. And this is actually where I think Cowboy Bebop 2021 shines. It's because it's more of a remix, not a remake. In much the same way the original was a remix of art, it was a visual jazz, blending genre styles. This, to a much less extent, granted, is a remix of the original from a narrative point of view. Which I advise is the best way to look at it. Like, you know when people say it stands on its own feet or it should be appreciated separate from the original? That's the best way I think most people can enjoy this. It's not a replacement, it's in addition to, if you like or don't like the original series. Because believe it or not, there are people out there that anime isn't for. You know, they don't like it. They're like, meh. And maybe if you're one of those people, you might actually like the Netflix show, like, you know, and that doesn't mean you have bad taste. It just means you like different things. So a lot of people like myself think the original is good, granted. And so the idea that this was in any way going to match that was never in my mind. You know, that's just impossible to comprehend. But it could, however, be a good series that touches on familiar themes, which I believe it is. Just like how Firefly is a great TV show about a ragtag group of misfits that bond over interestingly dangerous missions and attempts to meet ends, so is this. It's beautiful and it's wacky and it's carried across with real passion from both the actors and the crew. Also, it adds to the original and it adds new backstories to characters from the original story. Even if you don't like the direction they've taken it in, you have to appreciate what they've tried to do, like especially for a mainstream TV show. This shot I love. Like, this is a great little... This whole battle scene actually was really good. There's some fantastic cinematography here. Other highlights includes the phenomenal casting. A lot of positive stuff has already been said about the casting for Jet and Faye, and rightly so. I don't know if they hired Mustafa Shakir purely for his voice, but it's almost one-to-one. I'd also give a lot of praise to the actor that plays Vicious, whose name is Alex Hassel. The way I remember Vicious from the anime is his massive bulging eyes and his grin, his crazy Joker-esque grin that, you know, they all kind of just stood out from strands of hair, like really stood out. And this actor really nails that, like really nails it. I think he's just a great actor all around, and I'd love to see him in more stuff. And again, some reviews said, you know, Vicious's backstory wasn't asked for. But actually in this adaptation, Vicious isn't a one-dimensional character. He has reasons and a purpose, which I think is great, and there's a lot of depth that's been added to him. And then of course there's Anna, played by Tamara Tierney. I love the character change here, definitely one of the highlights with the characters that have been changed significantly from the original. Again, she has more purpose than just providing Spike with information, and another phenomenal performance. I actually think the entire cast did a great job, a really decent job. And oh yeah, there's also some great lines in this show. This one in particular was turned into a meme.
Sounds to me like blackmail.
You're damn right it is, because, Jet, you are black and you are male.
I know some people said there's too much comedy in this version compared to the original, but again, if you don't compare it to the original and just appreciate it by itself, you'll see a very funny show with very likable characters. It's a decent TV show. It's not perfect, and of course it's not comparable to the original, which would be an A+, like the gold standard of what's great. And if you do disagree with me, that's okay, that's fine, because remember, my opinion doesn't actually matter, neither does yours, or anyone on YouTube that gives their thoughts on anything. It's just an opinion, and anyone that does YouTube, is actually being a little bit self-indulgent, and they're hoping that maybe there's someone out there that agrees with them. And everyone else can, you know, that's all this is, like, yeah, surprise. Give the live action version a chance if you haven't done so already. Don't just go by what everyone else is saying. You don't want to end up like this character from Key and Peele.
Share an opinion. Share an opinion. Share an opinion right now. Just off the top of your head. Share an opinion. Anything. Just one opinion. That's all I'm asking. Share one opinion right now. Share
I don't have an opinion, and that's why I just like everything that everyone else likes in pop culture.
And again, this is just my opinion, and nobody's opinion actually matters. P.S. Here's my signed DVD from the original director of the original series, which means my opinion matters more than yours. Okay, bye, suck your mum.